Hello internet world, welcome to a new video on the Geekanoids channel. In today's video I've got a very cool piece of professional kit for you. This is from Roland. It's their V-02HD. This is their multi-format video mixer, and it's a very professional piece of kit. Now I'm going to give you a full demonstration of this during this video. It's a little bit of a challenge for me because I don't want to sort of get you dizzy with switching cameras, but I'm going to show you just how powerful this piece of kit is. Now normally, just to let you know, when I'm doing my videos or my live broadcasts, and this is live, I normally use my keyboard that's positioned just over here to switch camera angles. So I could have a camera angle looking at me, maybe one coming in from another angle over there, and then I've got my overhead camera in the background. But for this video, I'm going to be doing all of the switching with this. And before I show you the actual product, I do just want to show you this diagram. This is the back of the product. I'm going to try and show you this during the video, but it's very tricky for me to move this piece of equipment whilst it's actually running the video switching for this particular live broadcast. So this is the Roland V-02HD. This is a really cool piece of kit. I've got it sitting just on the desk behind me here, and one of the first things you can do is you can actually sort of do transitions between the cameras. I'm going to show you that very shortly. Before I do so, big hello to everyone who's tuned in live. Let's just wait a little while for a few more people to come in. I will take some questions in the latter part of this video, so please do stay tuned till the end. A big hello to Best Tech LJL, to Ahmed Al Hashar, Peter Griffin, the Brothers Compound, Lermit Fernandez and Aaron Stoy. Thanks very much for tuning in live. I really do appreciate each and every one of you tuning in live. If you're watching this after the live broadcast, you can use the regular comment section down below. If you're new and you're not already subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you won't miss out on my future videos. So anyway, let's do this first transition and then you'll get to see the actual product. So I'm going to move the slider across, and as I move the slider across, you'll see me disappearing. Obviously I can do this a lot smoother, but I just want to do a really slow reveal, and I can actually reveal the product. How cool is that? And then of course I can transition back the other way. Now when I transition back the other way, if I stop sort of halfway, which is very cool, I can show you half of me, and then I can actually very carefully move the product down. Or let's move the camera actually. Let's move the camera this way, and I can actually show you the product in the bottom half of the video. How cool is that? And what you're seeing here is the mixing unit, the Roland multi-format video mixer model V-02HD, and it comprises of some controls to change the fade. It's also got some effects. I can change the type of mix or the type of wipe. It's also got some extra effect controls here and some setup controls. And then we got the two buttons, and of course the sort of the fader, or that sort of the mixing control. Now I can just flick between the two just with the push of a button, or I can move that across a lot quicker. So for example, if I just push the button, it's going to do the fade for me, and it's going to fade across to the actual product to show you that on camera. And if I push the other button, then it's going to come back to me, and I can change the type of wipe as well. So if I just come back to the actual V-02HD, and let's just go in a little bit closer for you so you can see what I'm doing. So what I'll do now is I will change, by pressing the type button, I will change the type of effect to a mix. And now I'm going to push the number 1 button. I could use this control here, but let's just push the number 1 button, and then that mixes, that does this gradual sort of cross dissolve back to me on the main camera. And now I'm going to push the number 2 button, and we're back to seeing the V-02HD. So let's take a closer look at some of these other controls. We've also got an input fade here as well, so I can actually go to a black screen, and then gradually, by turning this control, fade this up to 100%. How cool is that? Very cool indeed. Really very impressive. And then also, if I turn this control, then I can go through to a still image. So that's another feature on this input fade rotary dial on the left hand side. And then we've got various effects here. We've got mix, which I've shown you a couple of times. I'll show you mix one more time. So we go back to camera number 1, and that just does this gradual crossfade. And then we go back to camera number 2 and it fades back. We've got the wipe feature, and again I can control this either by moving this control or by pushing the buttons. So let's do the wipe. So this wipes across to me and then back to the other product and then back to me again. Very, very cool. Now I can change how quickly these happen as well. So I can change the duration of that fade from camera to camera. And I do that, I'm not going to be able to demonstrate it in this particular video, but let's go back to looking at the actual the mixer. I've got a setup menu here. In the back of the mixer, where all of the inputs and outputs are, I've got my 2 sources coming in here via HDMI. This is going out to what you're seeing. This is my output. I've also got a preview output. Now the preview output is also HDMI, and I can actually send that to a monitor, and then I can gain access to the setup menu. And within this setup menu, I can scroll through the menu items and change the values. This button here also acts as an enter button, so I can actually push this to make my selections, and I can change how quickly those wipes happen. So let's do one more. Let's do picture in picture. So with picture in picture, now when I swipe across, you can still see the controller nice and big on the screen, or the mixer, and you can also see me inset in your screen. So I can do picture in picture as well. And when I swipe back, I disappear. Now if I switch to let's go to mix and put me back on the screen, and now I'm going to do picture in picture again. So now I've selected picture in picture on the V02HD, and then let's just mix in, and that brings you inset. You can now see me moving that slider control. You can see the other camera angle inset on your screen. How cool is that? Very, very cool indeed. So let's keep to this sort of picture in picture setup. Now you have got some extra features as well. Within the menu system, I could control, because I need to be over here really, I can control where this picture in picture is. So I could go into the menu system and move it up here or down here or down here. I can change that wherever I want it to be. Let's leave it there for now and just show you. There's also some effect controls, and these are video effects, and you've got things like posterize, and I can actually posterize the image, or I can actually turn these controls and make selections to actually bring into effect things like turning the image completely black and white, embossing the image, putting a mosaic over the area. Perhaps there's a particular piece of the video or the production that you're making and you want to mix in, but you want to blank something out. Maybe you've got somebody's private information that you need to blank out or blur out. You can put a mosaic over the top of something. And with these VFX controls on the V02HD, you can actually bring in all different sorts of video effects and gradually bring them in. So as I'm turning this control, the one I've got on at the moment I think is posterize, so I can actually posterize my image and make it look all funky. Very, very cool for these visual effects or video effects. Very cool indeed. And then to turn this off, you just push the VFX button again, and that turns off the feature completely. That is really very, very cool. Let's turn off picture in picture. We move down to key. Key is so that you can key in certain images as well. Another very powerful effect, but we're not going to use that during this demonstration. We're back to full screen, and now it comes into play where as I move this slider, I can gradually move from one camera angle to the other, or indeed I can just press the buttons to switch between the two. It's a very, very cool piece of kit, extremely good. Now I'm going to risk this. Hopefully you won't lose the image, but do stay tuned if we do. Let's just move back across very quickly to have another look at this particular piece of kit, and I want to actually show you, or try and show you, the sides and the back. So on this side here, it's completely clear. I don't want to stress the wires too much, otherwise you're going to lose the image. Completely clear. On the back here, we've got camera angle number 1, camera angle number 2, monitor out. We've got this one here, which is going into my computer. I'm using a cam link to connect this to my computer. We've also got a control output as well. We've also got USB, which is used for updating the unit, and then we've got the power supply coming in here. And then on this side here, we've got the main power switch. We can actually input audio and mix that in as well. And we've also got a headphone output as well, with a little dial here, or little rotary dial, so we can actually monitor the audio. So you can mix in external audio as well. And then of course you've got all of the controls I've already shown you. It's a really robust piece of kit. It's mainly made of metal, so it's a very professional piece of kit and extremely well made. It is absolutely fantastic. There's a little bit of a brighter look for you. I didn't want to put this light on too much, purely because it does sort of blow the image out a little tiny bit. But very, very cool. Let's just darken that down a little bit. There we go. That's a bit better. So really very, very cool. Let's just cover these controls again. So switching between camera angles, between the two inputs. This control here to gradually fade in and out to different camera angles. So you can go from camera angle 2 to camera angle 1. Very, very cool indeed. I just love how smooth that is as well. Then we've got the output fade here as well, so we can fade in and out. And you can obviously do that fade in and out on either of the camera angles. So I can go completely black and then fade back in from black to the actual video source. And then we've also got our effects, which are mix, wipe, picture in picture and key. We've got video effects control, or visual effects, and then we've got a setup menu as well, which I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting to be given that much control between, over all of the effects. It's very, very cool indeed. So let's take a look inside the live chat. Plenty of you watching. Thanks very much for tuning in, everyone. Lermit Fernandez, great gadget. Thanks for the video review. Maybe I bought one. Very cool, very cool. It is really good. I will just mention, apart from the V-02HD, they do other mixers as well. They even do one that has 3 inputs, Roland, and you can set predetermined times for it to switch between the different camera angles, which I'd love to take a look at and obviously demonstrate to you. Null Zero, can you feather wipe aka the Star Wars transition? No, you can't. These are preset wipes. So you've got the cross dissolve, which I've already showed you. So we've got the cross dissolve. We've also got the wipe, which is like this. And then we've also got the picture in picture, which is like this. So that's the sort of differences you've got. And you've got the key as well. We've also got Hanif coming in saying impressive piece of kit. And Null Zero, with those VFX, all Dave needs now is a vocal auto tuner, and he's ready to be a live stream tech rapper. Watch this space, maybe it might happen. And last question for this particular broadcast from SJ15. You've gone back to the old avatar. I don't think so. I think it's changed. I think it's stayed the same for the past few months anyway. But thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. This, again, just to recap, is the Roland V-02HD multi-format video mixer. It goes up to 1080p, I think it is. And also, just worth noting, is it does scale as well. So if you've got something coming in at a different resolution, it will scale it to the 1080p output. Very, very cool. It does say on here, I think, scaler, so that there are scalers built in. For that external control as well, I showed you an external control. You can attach like a foot switch. So just underneath my desk here, I could be actually doing, instead of me reaching across here to do the switching between camera angles, I could control that with a foot switch. Very, very cool indeed. Anyway, if you want to check out more details, including the full specifications of this particular product, I've left a link to the Roland website down in the video description. I've also left links to where you can pick this up for yourself, so please do check those out. Thank you very, very much for tuning in, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Please do hit that like button, share a link to this video. Have a fantastic day ahead. We're almost at the weekend, so have a fantastic weekend as well. And I'll see you in another video very soon.